This is KWMR, listener-supported West Marin Community Radio, 90.5 Point Reyes Station, 89.9 Bolinas, and 92.3 San Geronimo Valley. Streaming live online at KWMR.org. Cablecasting on Horizon Cable, Channel 47.
What if you love me, dear? What if you found me here? Would you want more like this? Would you want more of it? You can go on for days. You can see through the haze. He would find love again. You could be happy then. You are all that I want. You are all that I want. Oh, my sweet baby, my little babe, my sweet baby, my little babe. What if it came to us, run through our hand like dust? Would we want more like this? Would we want more of it? Now he'd take this life, make it last one more night. I can go on for days, leading you through the haze. You are all that I want. You are all that I want. Oh, my sweet baby, my little babe, my sweet baby, my little babe. What if it came to us, run through our hand like dust? Would we want more like this? Would we want more of it? Now will you take this lie, make it last one more night? I can go on for days, leading you through the haze. What if I love you, dear? What if I find you here? I could find love again. Oh, and be happy then. You are all that I want. Oh, you are all that I want. Oh, you are all that I want. Oh, my sweet baby, my little baby, my sweet baby, my little baby, my sweet baby, my little baby.
This is Rock of Ages on KWMR. This is your host, Mark Nichol. I'm on every Sunday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Music from the golden age of rock and roll in the first hour. And awesome music, evidently, featuring live musicians in the studio with me from 9 to 10. My guest tonight is Mr. Patrick Tutt. Welcome to the program, Patrick.
Hi, Mark.
Glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
All right. We met not that long ago at the Hop Monk Novato open mic, just like a couple months ago, I think, a few months ago.
That's right.
And it turns out that you're a newbie. You're a newcomer to the area. That's why I hadn't seen you around before. So you just moved from Oregon, was it?
Yeah, that's right. Just moved down from Ashland, Medford in May. So
Okay.
coming up on a year.
Okay, and you were just kind of hiding for a while there, and then stuck, just getting used to the lay of the land for about 6 months. Or had you played out anywhere else?
I think Bazaar Cafe was the first place I had played.
Oh, okay.
And then everything opened up once I met you, because you sent me a list of all these open mics and just great stuff. So I feel a lot more plugged in now than I was when I started out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to keep busy around here. I mean, sometimes people complain about there not being enough music venues, and that might be true for gigging and cover charge and all that. But if you just want to get out and play a couple of songs, there's plenty of great open mics in the area.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, there's one pretty close by in Forest Knolls on Tuesday that my friend Larry Levine runs. It's the third Tuesday of each month, but he can't make it, so I'm going to cover for him as MC. And you've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, that's got to be, I think, probably the most unique open mic. This old paper mill saloon.
Yeah, saloon. Yes. It's a funky little place.
It's great. Yeah.
I like it. So I'll be there, and Patrick might be there too.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just letting people know about that. Can't endorse it on the air, but I can mention it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good.
All right. So that's good. And so I've heard you play a few times now, and I'm just really was impressed, from the first time, just about how committed you are. Just in terms of how committed you are to expressing yourself.
Nice.
You're just very expressive, and you don't hold back.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, it's a good thing that mic is not that close to you, or you would have. Because you've got, I think both of us, we have strong voices, and we have to kind of, keep them, reined in a little bit.
Yeah.
But you don't hide your emotions, you don't hide your expressiveness, and that's a really great quality that it's hard for people to do that. Don't open them up and say, open themselves up to the audience and say, here I am, take a look.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you. I mean, I think that's probably the best compliment I could hear for what I aspire to, and that's new for me. I think I've definitely been a little more expressive in these last few months. And even my songwriting is just a lot more transparent. I want people to hear the words. I want people to. It's sort of the self-expression or self-disclosure, as they say in psychology. But I want, I want to say what I want. What I want people to understand what I'm saying, so yeah. I mean, for me, it's just great therapy. I think a way of finding truth in myself that sometimes I didn't even know what was there, or that particular truth, until I wrote the song. So anyway, yeah.
Well, we can talk a little bit more about how you got to that place, but why don't you demonstrate with a song?
Yeah, all right. I'll play a tune here. The other thing that Mark has inspired me to do here is to write just a little bit of background on these songs. And that's been really beneficial for me too, because I get to see what I was thinking at the time. I'm going to put this harmonica on here.
Okay.
And push the mic away. So anyway,
it's a little dance with the headphones and the mic, and
that's right. That's right. Oh man. And anyway, this song I'm going to play now is written as a response to a prompt to write a African American spiritual, and so that the character Moses starts out really determined to work his way to freedom, and maybe even buy his own freedom. And there's sort of this chorus of naysayers, similar to like a Greek tragedy, and throughout the song they're telling him, stay down, stay low, don't aspire to this, And in the end, he does not by his own freedom, and he's met with his own old age, and he starts to think of this new freedom, this freedom that reaches past death and past slavery, and so that's why it's a spiritual.
Long dirt road, hauling a load. Slow down, Moses, before you get old. Counting the days till mud turns to gold. Slow down, Moses, before you get old. I'll work my way out before I get sold. Slow down, Moses, before you get old. Slow down, Moses, before you get old. Boss man talking, I talking back. They said, now come down, Moses, before you get shacked. Boss man tell me, now I tell him back. They said, now come down, Moses, before you get shagged. I don't care all the stripes on my back. Come down, Moses, before you get shagged. Come down, Moses, before you get shagged. Look at my face, my eyes, they stay cold. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old. Long white hair, my story untold. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old. When I die, I'll finally break from the mold. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old. Sit down, Moses, it's time to get old.
All right. So that was a homework assignment?
That was a homework assignment, actually. It's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a songwriting class?
Yeah. I actually went to took a songwriting class in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh.
And try to think if anything else came out of that. Probably. That one I've held on to, though. Mm-hmm. So.
Your first spiritual?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I think I wrote one other called Leadbelly's Land, kind of in that form, you know.
Okay.
We've got that kind of call and response.
Right.
But I like the naysaying chorus. I think, you know, people might identify with that.
All right. Well, nice work on that.
Thanks.
So how long have you been playing music?
Well, let's see. I think I got my first real guitar when I was 14. Mm-hmm.
the golden, that's the pocket age, right?
Yeah,
that's,
it
is. That's most
right.
people I talk to around
that's
that
right.
time.
Yep. That's right. I said my first real guitar, I think my folks had ordered me one out of a Sears catalog. I was like 9 or 10, and I think even the best guitar player probably couldn't have played that thing. But I had a Squier Stratocaster when I was 14, and yeah, my dad taught me to play a couple Nirvana tunes. That's what I wanted to learn. So I think we did Polly and Lake of Fire. Those are the two I learned. And I was into all that grunge stuff. But I also heard Cat Stevens, Simon and Garfunkel in those years, middle school years, and kept playing acoustic through high school, So yeah, it's been over 20 years now I've been playing, and I wrote my first song when I was 18. So coming up on 20 years of writing too. So
do you remember that moment or that time when you just decided that you were going to write songs?
To try to write? Yeah. I always wanted to write a song. And I remember that first song in particular. It was called Nature to This Game. And I'd been out camping in Nederland, Colorado. I was actually on a year camping trip with my friends, and they'd gone to the store or whatever. But I was pretty proud of it, actually. And the final line is, "I'll try not to fake it. I won't even try to make it. But sometimes I think I failed just the same. I'll slow myself down, turn it all around. Remember, there's a nature to this game." And I was digging pretty deep at 18 already. So.
Well, and you were on a year-long camping outing?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow,
yeah.
that's camping.
It was camping. Yeah, I basically lived outside for about a year. Some people would call
in Colorado
being homeless.
Okay.
But Colorado and California actually.
But you were doing it by choice.
By choice, right? Right. Which I guess,
it's a little different than being. I mean, some people are homeless by choice.
Yeah, that's right.
But many aren't.
That's right. Right.
Okay.
But it was a great time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we played music down. For people who know Pearl Street, we busked for spare change down there. I did a lot of music in that year. But that's the only song I think that I really kept from that. But had a chance to play with a lot of different people too. So.
Okay. So you grew up in Colorado?
Nope. I born in Seattle, and we moved all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, moved all over.
So did you do the teenage band thing?
I had a little loose configuration in 8th grade, and we played at 8th grade graduation.
Nice.
I was graduate from the 8th grade now, but. My dad, my friends Adam and Dustin, I think we played Wonderful Tonight as Clapton for my girlfriend. And just
whatever it takes, right?
Yeah. And then this was a Lynyrd Skynyrd song called All I Can Do Is Write About It, which I'd asked my dad, actually, I was playing tonight. I said, what was that other song we played? That's a pretty fun tune, but... But yeah, and then in high school, I actually was in a classical guitar class. So, we all brought our guitars to school. It was just an excuse to all bring guitars to school, and so we were playing Pink Floyd at lunch, and classical guitar in class. So. But yeah. So I got another tune here, Mark.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
You're here. You might as well.
That's right. I brought this guitar.
Yeah, convenient.
Oh, man. I had to try and get this.
Okay. Yeah.
See, some people can do something and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
And apparently, I'm limited to.
Well, I'm asking a lot of you with the headphones, the harmonica on the what do you call that thing? The brace for the harmonica?
Yeah, harmonica holder. That's the issue here, people. So this next tune, some paintings are put into words. And this painting appeared on a jewelry box in a house I lived in, Fort Collins. And it depicted a British market, like at the turn of the century, early 1900s. And there were kids playing, women shopping in the market. I think Big Ben was in the background. And my tragic mind, I couldn't help but think, I bet all of that was leveled in World War I and World War II. And made me think that those kids, if they didn't die, maybe they lost their parents. And some people who experience tragedy grow up with a type of sensitivity and makes them swear off that kind of violence. And others will perpetuate that violence onto the next generation. So there's a question in the song, will we grow to evil men or better men?
Hometown, you're living with a long dead ghost. New town, you're living with it too. Leave all the pictures that you love the most. Put on your back road shoes. I am the product of a long dead war. I know you're living with it too. Hung on the hate of the ones before. Put on your killing shoes. I'm a fool for the one that you left. Grow now into evil men. When the fight come to lay the rest, will you grow now into evil men? Bells every morning when the clock says 9. Kids in the streets are playing games. Excuse the missus if you would not mind. She knows you each by name. I was a lover of Jenny Sue. I had come in from the cold. I was a working man writer too, planning on growing old. Now I'm a fool for the one that you left. Grow now into evil men. I am the fight come to lay the rest. Will you grow now into evil men? Pictures of war hung on every wall, and now you're living with it too. If you are careful, you will not fall. If you are lucky, you will not fall. Oh, how the wicked, they will not fall. Now I'm a fool for the one that you left. Grow now into bitter men. And when the fight come to lay the rest, will you grow now into bitter men? I am a fool for the one that you left. Grow now into better men. And when the fight come to lay the rest, will you grow now into better men? Grow now into better men.
That is Patrick Tutt, and you're listening to him on Rock of Ages with Mark Nichol, Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. And Patrick, if people do want to hear more of your music, and why wouldn't they, how might they do that?
You're good, Mark. So smooth. Well, you could look me up on Reverb Nation. I think, all this new stuff I want to just kind of add slowly. There are a couple songs up. And so you have to go to Reverb Nation and type my name, Patrick Tutt. And
Tutt.
Tutt, yeah.
Right.
I do have some other stuff I put out with a band called the Feral West, like the Wild West, Feral. And you can find that YouTube and Reverb Nation and Facebook. But these newer songs you'll find under my name on Reverb Nation.
Okay. Now, the Feral West was a band that you had back in, was it Oregon?
In Fort Collins.
Oh, back a long time ago then.
Yep.
Okay.
4 years ago.
Okay, not that
4
long.
year ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, still kind of folky, But I like getting out and just doing the singer-songwriter thing. I think I always kind of hid behind the musicality, which is totally fun.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I wanted to be in a rock band. I still have never been in a rock band, but I did want to rock. And just find my singing and writing and playing style doesn't lend itself to that. And so, kind of finding this singer-songwriter niche has been good for me.
Okay.
And seeing that there's actually still a great outlet for it. A lot of, folk festivals, of course, our own Hardly Strictly Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Kerrville and Rocky Mountain Folk Festival. So a lot of these places where I started seeing like, oh, well, actually that's kind of the style, like what I write, and seeing something that I could aspire to. It's a roundabout way of saying I'm not playing in a band right now.
Okay. Well, that's interesting, though, because the Feral West was basically a band formed around a singer-songwriter.
That's true.
Okay, so there is middle ground.
There is a middle ground.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm going for as a singer-songwriter.
Right.
I've always envisioned having that support, especially because I'm not a guitarist like you are, as well as a singer. And it's just like, yeah, come on, I'll take all the help I can get as far as the instrumentation is concerned.
True. That's true.
Even though I'm not really into like rocking out,
Sure.
But it's also,
delegating.
But there's also some merit in just getting up there and just doing it yourself if you got the chops for it, which I'm working on.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing is, I think heart goes a long way because a lot of your folk artists aren't necessarily virtuosos at their instrument, but they are masters of delivering a message and doing it with heart and soul.
Right.
So I think, that appeals to me, and I can definitely appreciate a band that makes you move. But I always kind of fall for the singer-songwriters,
Okay. Special place in your heart.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. So I wrote this next tune 10 years ago. And it's kind of special to me tonight because there's a line about singing on the radio, and it's something I haven't done in those 10 years since writing it, and actually ever. I was living in Illinois at the time on a CSA farm, like a community agriculture farm, and actually I was in the seminary. I had aspiration to write and play music, and ended up leaving that order. And so this song's, to me, it's kind of a snapshot of a time I was just writing a lot of music and playing for 3-4 hours a day, and I was inspired to make a go of it, make a go of music. And in those 10 years, this is off the book here, but in these 10 years, I don't think I've ever let that dream really die, but it's definitely matured and changed,
Yeah.
And I think that's necessary. So
exactly.
First time, hold on forever. 2 time, could have been better. 3rd time, take it to the pawn shop now. All your planning and scheming came to wide-eyed dreaming. You hoped the cream would rise to the top. Now here you are, singing on the radio, playing on the audio like a record shop, or you're gone, blown away. Lifetime you seem to get smothered, your time cashed on another. By time we get together now, stay here, don't run far. You sing and I'll play guitar. We'll turn the whole thing up too loud. Now here you are, singing on the radio, playing all the audio like a record shop, or you're gone, blown away. And now here you are, singing on the radio, playing all the audio like a record shop, or you're gone, blown away, blown away.
Yes, so I guess you were destined to play on the radio, weren't you?
Yeah.
You knew it would happen. It just was a matter of time.
That's right.
And like you said, the road may not be the way you intended it to be, but it is a road.
That's right. It is a road.
It's a road. Well, my mantra is things work out, but there's some ambiguity in there, right? Things work out. Doesn't tell you how, but they do work out.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just changing what you want, right?
That helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps you get where you want to go.
That's right.
You go a different route than you planned.
Sure.
And you either get to where you wanted to go or you get somewhere better.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. That's right.
So, do you find it easy to write songs? Do they come to you pretty well, pretty naturally, or does it depend? Or
yeah. Well, you are broaching one of my favorite topics here.
Well.
Yeah. Songwriting with the singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And I find if I just spend a little time every day, I stay in the practice. And I do think, I think writing, I heard this said, like, the first or the essential value of art is the effect that it has on the artist. And I see that as a songwriter because even if I never share that art, it still has been so transformative for me. And so it's something I want to do, and it's funny, it's healthy for me, and yet there's still some resistance there. And so I have to trick myself sometimes to sit down and do it. But I don't know if we can expect the same returns for our investment all the time. I just think I think if you just sit down and do it, even if you just throw away some of the songs that you write, you come up with those 2 or 3 songs that are good. And by good, I think for me, it's that every time I sing that song, there's healing that happens. There's truth that comes out, and it, like I said, it's first and foremost for me. So it's a great process, and those are moments you'll never capture. You'll never capture it in a song or on paper if you're not sitting down with the intention to write. So I just kind of think like there's 16 waking hours in the day or whatever, and and any given hour you've got these genius potential for genius. So if you're spending an hour of that time writing, or doing your art, you're gonna, likelihood is you can capture it and come back to it and draw on it. That's my take on songwriting. But I haven't been writing much. In fact, the one I'm working on now is dated December 14th. So it's been 2 months in the making, and I've done some polishing of other things. Yeah. So
well, I have a backlog, of songs.
Oh, sure.
That I started years ago, and they're still waiting for me. Mark,
Yeah,
come back, come
that's
back.
right.
And meanwhile, I'm, writing other ones and they're getting jealous.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Well, they might just break through if they get jealous enough.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, come on, bring it on.
Yeah. Well, I heard, that I sort of have this like starts, like song starts, because there's some ideas I have. I don't want to bury them, but I heard actually Steve Seskin, who's a local guy and a good songwriter, but he said, 3, maybe 4 at the max you should have on your workstation. And that has worked pretty well for me to have 3 or 4 songs I'm actively working on. And then everything else that kind of comes to you, don't let that displace the 3 or 4 you're working on, but write it down as a start. And that way, when you finish one, you can go look at some of these starts and see what speaks to you. So,
right.
So definitely some technical ideas, some good suggestions that we can try out and see what works. So,
okay. Well, let's hear another one that you came up with.
Sorry. This one I wrote. I said I went to Colorado from Illinois, and I was camping in the Poudre Canyon, Cachela Poudre. I know, I was like, what the hell does that mean? But it means like hide or like store the gunpowder. I guess these French trappers were caught in the storm and
right?
Yeah, they buried their gunpowder there.
The Poudre.
And the Poudre, that's right. It seems like a dangerous place to bury so much black gunpowder. But I spent a couple of weeks camping there, and another snapshot in time when I was practicing the song, I thought, well, it's pretty obvious that I was camping in this beautiful Rocky Mountains when I wrote this song.
There is a river, shine for the valley, shine for the people, shine for me. And a little rivulet, come to the ocean, come to the people, come to me. Sunlight and rainfall down from heaven, dew of the morning, our dew of night. And I'm a little weary from the weight of the driving, all night through the rain, all night in the storm. Time is a bandit, time is a thief, but time won't let you forget about me. So I keep on driving far and away, for the streams and the gold mines I'm looking to stay.
That's Patrick Tutt in the studio with me, Mark Nichol, on Rock of Ages, here Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Music from the golden age of rock and roll in the first hour, and conversations with and music by musicians in the second hour. Patrick, earlier you'd said, you made kind of an offhand reference to throwing songs away. Do you really discard stuff? I've never really asked that before, but you brought it up. So
yeah, I wouldn't do it just because I think I'd never actually throw a song away. I would just catalog it. And,
that's a euphemism. Yeah. I'll catalog it.
I'll catalog that song, and I just maybe wouldn't play it out. But some of the songs that I've been playing out are actually really old songs that, my voice has changed, or the register has changed, or the feeling or the meaning of the words. And so sometimes a song will stand up in a way it never did at the start. So no, I don't actually, put it in a recycle bin. but I'm okay with not being completely in love with every song. I do try to bring it to a completion. If it makes it onto the table, then I do want to see it through. And I might just be like, hope no one ever sees that. And probably I get rid of it before when I'm dying. I'll be like,
delete.
Bring me my files. But it's still,
Well, I was just interested because I thought about, I've been writing songs since I was in college, but didn't start performing them until just a few years ago. But I didn't keep all of them. There are some early songs that I didn't keep, but ever since I've been performing in public, there's nothing there. There's songs that I feel like, I think this one's better than this one or whatever. But I also make sure that I don't ignore some song just because I think it's not as strong. Because sometimes you reevaluate it, or somebody will hear it and they'll say like, wow, I've never heard that song of yours before. That's like one of my favorite songs from you. And you thought it was like, eh.
Yeah. It's funny you say it because that song I just sang you, I liked it, but I had some, just from feedback, people say, oh, that's a great song. And so that's a case in point right there. Definitely. Yeah.
So I try to keep my older songs going, even though I don't know how many songs you've done. I've done dozens of songs, and it's hard to keep all of them on the front burner. But I try to, bring stuff up from before, even as I'm working on new stuff.
Yeah. Do you record them, or like kind of? Because for me, I have to record, or I won't necessarily remember how I sang it or what the latest version was.
No, I mean when I come up with songs, I'll just record just a rough like la la la, just so I have the memory, the melody down.
Yeah.
Or I'll just open up a Word file and type in the line. I'll just catch the snapshot there, but I don't keep recordings of all the songs. I haven't so far had any problem remembering them.
I just I'll record like even just the little iVideo or whatever on the computer, just so I can see how I played it or whatever.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I mean, I think you're older than me, but it sounds like you got a better memory than I do. 'Cause I will forget that.
Well, maybe you've got more than dozens of songs. Maybe you've got hundreds. So, that's understandable.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm talking about stuff I just played, and I just can't remember. So, I don't know.
Well, I did just pull up an old song that I'm going to play. Actually, next week, I host a showcase, singer-songwriter showcase, that is temporarily at the Yetwa in San Rafael. That's going to be on Thursday night. And I have 6 songwriters, 5 other people, and then I always do a set. And I brought up an old song of mine because I've been trying to go through my catalog and play a different song every month, different set every month.
Yeah.
And so I brought up an old song, and I was playing it, and then I was remembering, oh, yeah, wait, I do this. I had forgotten that I did something different than just like strumming or plucking.
Yeah.
And so I I did rely on my memory for that.
Yeah, that's right, and it serves you.
It served.
Like
It worked.
Well, I appreciate what you said that you try and do a different set every month, because I think it can. You can sort of have your favorites or what you think people think are the best, and it's good to push, and like I will try to always play new music if I have it, or rework an old song and play that. Not tonight, of course. Tonight I have to bring my very best, but when I play out, that is a really helpful way for me to polish new music. Is just to play 2 or 3 songs at an open mic and bring new stuff, not stuff I know really well, because I don't need to practice that stuff or polish that stuff. And that's just been a really great way for me to kind of nail down, a couple new songs or one that I've reworked.
Well, what I tried to do is when I started doing open mics, that was just like 3 years ago, I would sing the same song for like a month. That was my new song, and then I would put it into the repertoire.
Yeah,
and then I'd bring in another new song, and then I would alternate for my second song. Because most open mics are 2 songs.
Sure.
So I would do my new song for a month, and then I would alternate through the old ones, and that way I always
keep them fresh.
Yeah, and build up the repertoire that way.
Right.
And I still try to do that.
Yeah.
Where I I'll play it. Here's my new song, and it's like, and here's an old song I haven't played in a while.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's hear another song.
Do we
yours.
have time or?
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Cool.
Yeah. A couple songs at least.
All right. So. This is a regretful tune.
Oh.
Yes. It's about lost love, and I think most people know something about that. She was one of a kind, one act played straight in time. She said what she know, she mean no less. She was made for another, made for another. I was one of a kind, to use love to help me feel alright. Oh, how that's worn, how that's thin. I am empty, but asking, empty, but asking. How can I leave her behind? Walk my way alone, face what I have done. Can I make it through alive? Know now what I know, all points in time are one. Can you figure the cost to lose love you plant to a frost? Vine once strong, fruit once sweet, now lays without movement, lays without movement. Sorry for leaving you less than before, caught in the throes of my desire.
I am humble, but too late. Humble, but too late. Can I leave her behind? Walk my way alone to face what I have done. And if I make it through alive, I'll know now what I know. At all points in time are one, they are one. Call me back to you. I'll listen this time when you do. Find what's wrong, but now I know is to move to her beauty, move to her beauty, move to her beauty, move to her beauty, move.
All right, Patrick Tutt. There's a very sweet, bittersweet song.
Bittersweet.
Yes. So you are going to be performing coming up in March. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm doing a featured set at Hot Monk, and this mic's running away from me. Anyway, let's see there. Got it. Yeah, feature set at Hot Monk 28th, so definitely don't go out of your way to come see it. But, yeah, there's not much of a plug there. If you're at Hot Monk, though, you should listen to what I'm singing. And, yeah, simmer down, okay?
The Hot Monk Novato has an open mic every Wednesday, and it includes a featured 30-minute set in the midst of the open mic proceedings. And so you'll be doing that on March 28th.
March 28th. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
All right. Well, if you got a short one, we could squeeze in 2 more songs.
Sure. Yeah. I'll play a couple back to back here.
Okay.
I think music is emotional. It can be emotional. It has the power to change our thinking, our believing, and even the way we act. I was in a room at work, and the TV was on. It was about a year ago. They were showing practice. They were practicing firing missiles at some test range, I think in Hawaii. And immediately my mind saw the horrors of those missiles landing in some village or some town or some city, and just this mangled pile of bones and flesh and faces. You know, these humans that are people's fathers and mothers, sons, daughters. And I walked out and whispered the title to the song, "Oh My God."
Give me something to buy, someone to use, walls to keep out what I do not choose. The world is for sale, to buy and to keep. My money I grow, and objects I reap. But sometimes I want out of the farce that I'm living in, to find a way out of this lie and be free again, all the way back to my first love. Oh my God. It's you and then me, gone to the line, with bombs to explode and bullets that whine from black polished barrel through white marble bone, for water and land, oil and stone. Newspaper grab me and tell me it's war again. So many say fight. I say this way we'll never win. But it's closer this time. It's closer each time. Oh my God. We'll never be right by doing so wrong. It will not be quick, and we cannot stay strong all the way down. It will lead us until your sons and your daughters lay perfectly still. There will be moments of glory and victory. All of these young ones will fight and show bravery, but it's blood on their faces and it's souls we erase. Oh my God. But how can we leave it now? How can we walk away? Where in this world will we learn a better way? Those who are prophets and those who are teachers, nonviolent words they've spoken now reach us. Live in these moments of courage and faithfulness. Families stand tall with posture of readiness. So when it comes, let me be loved. Oh my God.
All right. We don't have quite time for a whole song. I mean, we could get you started on the last song, but I might have to cut you off.
That was longer, huh?
But that's all right. We got to hear a lot of great music from you tonight.
Thank you.
Patrick Tutt, thanks for coming in. Before we do, my next guest next week is singer-songwriter Chris Bullock. So please come back for that. Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. on KWMR, Rock of Ages with Mark Nichol. So take us out with another song.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in, Patrick.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks, everyone who listened.
All right.
Give up the way you think that it will be. Let down the wall you raise against me. You are living, you are dying through the trial. And I met a boy, but he's only here a while. Work like hell to bring the fire and then the rain. In the end, you will leave the way you came. Without knowledge, money, plans, without style. See, you're building things that can only last a while. In your eyes, I still see our younger days. We walked our love through wide and narrow ways. and around so many bends. Now here is our last mile, and I love you, we're only here a while. And I love you, but we're only here a while.
Well, that is awesome. We got to hear the entire song with a little bit to spare. So thanks again, Patrick, for coming in and sharing some of your music.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much, Mark.
All right. Rock of Ages. I'll see you next week, Sundays 8 to 10 p.m. here on KWMR. And good night.